All right, all we got is the Sweet Bobby podcast review. That's it. Nothing else this week. Indy had laptop difficulties. Indy is me. I had a lot of laptop issues, so we cut it short and we only had half an hour. Bash through it. I think we did a good job. Let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you on the other side. Cheers. Welcome. Welcome to this week's episode of the Indian Dots podcast. We are discussing the Sweet Bobby shenanigans, whatever you want to call it. The Sweet Bobby fiasco. I think that's probably the best way of describing it. For those that don't understand, this is a podcast that was set up that's gradually made its way through the Asian community over the past however many years it's been about. It's a story based on a girl who got catfished really badly, very severely. And it's just worth breaking down, really, because Karan finally finished it. And it seems like everyone I've spoken to has finished it at their own pace, because it's kind of would you say it's a true crime kind of thing, Karan?
Yeah, that'd be the genre, I think, true crime. I, in the end, ended up binging it because it is quite, you get hooked to it. And then there's a really good flow. I like the narrator's voice.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Dino, actually. I don't know why. He's just kind of got that feel to his voice. Dino's a guest we had earlier on the show, guys.
Yeah. The guy's name's Alexi.
Yeah, really, really cool. I like the little, what do you call it? Sting, little jingle thing.
Yeah.
That was nice. And he asked really good questions, didn't he? And it was really nice that he wasn't a Punjabi guy.
So it made it more like wholesome, didn't it?
Yeah, it made it feel more real to me. And it was like, he's looking
here
at
we go.
things.
It got released in October 2021.
Oh, it's still quite recent then.
Yeah, it's quite recent. Sorry, I thought it was released years ago. I don't know where I got that from. Yeah, October 2021. That's when it came out. Yeah, so I'm glad you finally finished it so we can dissect it. Spoilers for anyone that hasn't heard it or would like to go and listen to it. Stop messing with the mic, man. Jesus, you're like a kid with a little rattle. Honestly, you can't put it down.
You're making me use the cover. I obviously don't like the cover. Guys, you can see that he's made me use the cover this week.
Yes, I did.
Because apparently it improves the sound quality. Apparently. And he's going to test it.
I'm not going to lie. For those of you that think that the sound quality has improved, please let us know in the comments below. Or just message us and let us know. Because I reckon it does. And I don't think I'm wrong. I can't hear you now.
Yeah, that's right, mate. That's right, yeah.
Yeah, because you're trying to be funny and it didn't work, did it? So that failed. There you go. See?
So
stop trying to prove my point.
Yeah, let's not get into your dodgy laptop. Let's not get into that.
This podcast is only half an hour long because my laptop had to be restarted. So that happened. That happened.
Cool.
All right, so jump into it, Karan. What was your thoughts on the Sweet Bobby podcast?
Ask me a question. That's just too vague, man. What specifically do you want to know?
I think it's unfair to call it a podcast when
let's start
when we're a podcast and that's a podcast. That is a podcast worlds apart from ours, okay? Because that is much better in terms of production value, effort, storyline, stitching it all together. Yeah, they put a hell of a lot of effort into it.
Hell of money, man. It's hard to compare those two things. Those people are on a proper budget. It's what do you call it? It's investigative journalism, essentially, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's obviously very, very juicy. It's obviously captured the minds of a lot of people. I wouldn't compare them though. It's just two different things. We're two guys talking about day-to-day stuff. And they are that was a big expose story.
It was.
Yeah. But I think it was the right length. I think they got everything in there.
6 episodes, each episode about an hour long.
50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes. Cliffhangers built in. I thought they were good. And initially when I started listening to it, I thought, they're going to build up to something. But actually, they tell you everything at the start. And then the rest of it is just trying to understand.
Yeah.
How it was done,
a better way of doing it.
And why it was done. Yeah. Those are two big questions in the whole thing, isn't it? How and why. The how is very elaborate. Very elaborate.
So let's paint out the characters, the character names. So you got the main girl who's catfish. Her name was Kirat, as the guy calls her, or Kirat, as we would say.
Kirat, yeah.
Then you've got her cousin Simran.
Yeah, who's a real person,
Yeah.
Simran. Yeah.
And you've got the guy who's being catfished to her, who's proposed as Bobby.
The real Bobby. So there's a
Yeah,
real
the real
Bobby,
Bobby.
a fake Bobby, Simran, who is Bobby, and multiple other characters in the storyline.
Yeah. So
and get it,
the giveaway is basically her cousin Simran coerced her into believing she was in a relationship with this guy online for about how many years, Karan, was it?
Many years. It's like 10 years. It's not
10 years,
Germany
basically.
is a long time. Yeah.
This was during the Facebook era when everything was alive and popping. So when you DM someone on Facebook, it would go straight to their personal inbox and all those things. It wouldn't go into a filtered inbox. It was a different world, wasn't it? Things weren't as connected as they are, say, now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it got really dark when at the beginning. It just sounded really off and really dodgy. And looking back on it, obviously, you feel a bit of sympathy for her because it's like someone who gets scammed. When they get scammed, if you try and get them to tell everything that happened from the point that it started to the end point, they look back and they probably feel quite stupid that they fell for it.
Hindsight and retrospect, very easy to say.
And I think for her, I think a lot of people criticize her saying, how didn't she know? How did she know this? How did she know that? I'm like, because in the moment, you just kind of want to believe that it's real.
Yeah, because I guess
when you've invested so much into it, you just
when you're that deep
further and further.
The alternative is this is a scam. Like that's probably more horrifying because obviously when it did come out, she went into complete meltdown because then you're trying to understand like why, what was real, what's not real. You start questioning what is real in your current life.
Yeah,
but she does make a good point at the end where she wants to, I think she makes this point about I don't want people's sympathy in the sense of, oh, she was poorly or she was naive and therefore it happened. No. This was a very big elaborate scam to the point where psychiatrists are saying to have this level of depth and degree of characters is just on a different level. Crazy. They've never seen this. Yeah, so it's not that she was a simple person. It was this many levels are built in, and anybody could have had this, fallen for this thing in the right context, right timing. You just need the right things to believe, and because you had a lot of the other characters that did a lot of coercion, didn't they? Did back up things and verify things. He's in hospital now. He can't talk to you. He really loves you. Like there was so much of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I kind of believe her in that point. I think it's very easy just to look at it and analyze it now and say, oh, how did you not know? But I think that point of view is naive.
It is, and it's a little bit not mean, but you can see how she got so far into it. Anyone that's interested, please check it out and just give it a listen and let us know your thoughts as well afterwards. Like, let's just have a little chat about it because everyone that I've spoken to has a completely different take on how and why behind it.
Okay.
And her cousin, she needs to see someone, man. The girl who was behind it or that did the catfishing to her own cousin, she fully needs to see someone because she got baited out that she did it early and she just sat there acting like nothing happened. Like completely motionless, no emotion, no nothing. She just sat on her phone on the way home as her cousin is having a meltdown in front of her in a deep fucked up state.
Oh, this is when they go to confront the actual Bobby and Brighton.
So obviously later on, Simran tries to go and confront Bobby directly. She found out where he lived. Geeta. She managed to get a PI sorted. Yeah. When she got the PI sorted, she then found out where Bobby lived. She didn't act on it until one day she got really pissed off and then just stormed off to his house, didn't tell anyone. Got there, knocked on the door, essentially lost her shit at him. He's like, who is this woman? And I think the connection then was Bobby was like, I've not really met you before. And he said, aren't you Simran's cousin? And then figured out Simran was the link. I think Simran came to collect her with someone, right?
Yeah. First there was a phone call. Yeah. And then she was like, oh, my cousin's unwell. Yeah, Simran was saying to real Bobby, don't worry, she's not well. But then, she did end up coming. And then they were in the car. That's what you're on about on the way back.
Yeah.
And she knows exactly what's happening and just oblivious. But, on her side, she's probably really deep into it, man. This is like a dream within a dream within a dream, like 3 levels of inception, man.
Who? Her side being who?
Simran, I think she's really far gone as well. Like she knows she's doing it.
She had opportunities to end it if she wanted to.
Yeah. I agree with that. But I mean, even towards the end, I think she was in deep and she forgot what was real and what was not real. She probably believed Bobby was real as well, like she was Bobby. Like almost
Maybe.
kind of like in Split when you have a kind of the film Split with kind of
Yeah.
dissociative personality. James McAvoy, whatever his name is, I think
James McAvoy. Yeah.
that's the one. Yeah. Um, but my theory that I'm standing by is that Simran is in love with her cousin, and she physically, emotionally, whatever level, could not see her cousin be with anyone else, Kirat. And
That's what you
so
think it is.
I think exactly what it is. She had to then exert this control, create this whole scenario, this whole world to keep her away from other men. She couldn't bear to see Kirat with another person. I think for me, that is the cause.
You know what? You could be onto something with that. Yeah, that seems pretty accurate because that would fill in so many of the gaps. Being in love with your cousin, though, to that extreme, wouldn't you want to see him happy?
No, but
And it
if you're
didn't
all,
sound like they were that close anyway, from what Gia let on.
the
Shouldn't
thing,
make
the
it seem like
thing,
they hung out very often or anything.
the thing that let me kind of into that kind of way of thinking was there's a bit where there's this private letter that gets talked about. We don't know what's in that letter. But prior to that,
The
when
apology letter,
Simran,
you mean?
the apology letter, the one that's like 30 people can see or 10 people, Simran says to her, "You were in a dark place and I was in a dark place, and this is good for both of us." This is a statement she made, something like that. And that's when I started thinking, I was like, she is fixated, man. She's like, it's like an obsessive compulsion.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And then it became everything and everything to keep her, just keep her. And she did it. Like, and my God, like the depths. He's a cardiology consultant. He's had a stroke. He can't speak. He's coming to see you at the house. I'm coming to see you at the house. Like, it's just the house visits. It's just so much.
So many lies, man.
And then to
So many
maintain, like,
ups and downs.
yeah, and then she's got to do her own stuff in her own life.
For those of you that don't get it, right, she was so specific that she would find pictures of this guy's son, Bobby's son or daughter, right? Would find pictures and reverse engineer it. So she would find a picture of what they were wearing. She'd find the item of clothing online, would send it to send it to Geedith and say, "What do you think? I'm going to get this for my kid." And she was like, "Oh yeah, it's really nice." And then she would send the picture a few days later saying, "Well, here's the kid wearing it." And it was like, that is extreme. That's extreme. How do you find that piece of clothing immediately online? That's hard to
How
find
do you
as
have the
well.
time to do that? You're basically living two lives. Now, Kirat is living one life, right? She's doing her life with the other person. Whereas Simran, I don't know if she had a partner at the time,
No,
but she's
she was a kid.
no, but 10 years in, she's not a kid then.
No, she was still okay at
No,
the
no.
beginning.
She was
She's a
16 when she
kid.
started. Yeah. But 26
Yeah.
by the end. So she's got her life. She was this VP in
And
the
she was apparently
bank.
what, a worker in the city as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because that, and that's like we've spoken about that. That's busy.
Yeah,
How
highly
do
paid
you
job.
physically have the time to do all this shit?
And it's not illegal. This is what you're finding out. None of this is illegal. So people are like, why doesn't she just go to the police? She did, and they just said we can't really do anything.
Not
And
my
they just
jurisdiction,
left her to
not
one
my
side.
jurisdiction, their jurisdiction, just ping ponging
Yeah.
between the two things. And it's very odd to me because the lawyer that speaks in there, I think it's a barrister, um, who basically said there are grounds where you can convict this person. You've just got to show those grounds.
Yeah.
Catfishing itself, correct, is not an illegal thing. Much in the same way, what was that show on Netflix about that guy who pretends to be like a billionaire and he like rinses the
Tinder
bank accounts?
swindler.
Tinder swindler, yeah. So, there's consent, it's consensual, blah, blah, blah. But I think what the barrister was saying is like, look, coercive control here. There's a lot that can be said.
Yeah.
It needs to be painted in the right way. And I hope it happens.
I hope it does too. I just don't see it. I don't see any due process coming to it. I reckon because it's so fresh and it's so random. They don't really know what to penalize Simran with. And yo, I've searched for this girl, Simran. Like I've spoken to people that have tried searching for her. They can't find her anywhere. No one can.
Yeah, but why is that surprising? All you have to do is deactivate your accounts.
No, it's not that, Goran. If you're the internet's written in ink, right? If you want to find someone badly enough, you can find them.
If you go on Google and you type a name, a picture comes up.
No, her picture comes up of her as a kid. It doesn't. That's the only picture that's out there. There's no picture of her like as an adult or anything. No one knows what she looks like.
Saying that,
and I'm like, she really scrubbed the internet and completely wiped herself off everything. Maybe she changed her name or something, but even if something is published in the internet, so for example, she was published in in one of the big corporate magazines or whatever with this big announcement that was put out saying she'd been given this really high paid job. Even that got taken down. And I'm thinking, was that because the company had been brought into disrepute and they just got rid of it? Or is that because she actually had it wiped? I don't know. I searched on LinkedIn, man. I was looking for, I was like, she works in the city. She must have been on there. I typed in all variations of the name Sim, Simran, Simi, surname Kaur, like all this stuff, man. Nothing. I was like, oh, okay. She's really put effort into wiping herself off everything.
Very thorough, man. She's got an legal team as well. I found Keith's dad's response odd.
Yeah, so give people a bit of a background on that.
So what was the chap's name again? Not Izzy.
Alexei.
So Alexei and his fellow journalists were trying to get the reaction, a kind of opportune moment from Kira's dad. And they wanted him to, and get the reaction for him reading the letter. Those are the two things they wanted. And there was a point where they were in the house and they start speaking, and he just sort of acknowledges that this is bad and it's bad for both sides. And then he said he feels sorry for the other girl.
He says I feel sorry for everyone involved, and yeah, she lost it. She lost it. She lost it, man.
She lost it. Yeah. She's like, I don't blame her. Why do you feel sorry for her? Why do you feel sorry for her? And she kept making this point that the family are good, the grandparents are good, and it's that may be so. That's got nothing to do with this person that's committed the crime and ruined your daughter's life for 10 years. Like, I don't know, maybe off camera he's different about his opinion. Didn't sound like he would be though.
Yeah, it doesn't. But then you come to learn that Simran's dad and Geert's dad are brothers, and he was his best man at Geert's dad's wedding.
They're not brothers.
Aren't they brothers or something?
No, it's just that thing you just said there. There's some sort of closeness, but it's not brothers.
No, because Simran was her cousin, so they must be brothers or cousin brothers or something.
Yeah. But it didn't sound like it was like worse. It's not like my brother's daughter.
I thought it was like immediate brother's daughter, but the biggest sticking point was he was her. Sorry, Simran's dad was Geert's dad's best man at his wedding. God, that's long to say.
Yeah. So they're close. They obviously are close, but again, irrespective, man. Like you can have, say, I have no beef with the parents and the grandparents, and that's absolutely fine. You can still be civil with them. But with the person, I mean, how can you?
He's put in this weird position for him. Obviously, he's caught in the middle. He's like, I want to keep that relationship with my cousin or brother or whoever it is, but then he's going to think, well, they're standing by their daughter. I've got to stand by my daughter, but he doesn't. He just stands in the middle. You kind of want your daughter to feel a little bit protected in that moment. Like you want to look out for her, at least make her feel like she's, okay with everything that happened, especially considering everyone was thinking that they were going to get married.
Yeah, like it went to that level, didn't it? Like you said, she was remodeling the house, and there's going to be like a special visit, and I'm definitely.
And you hear the voice notes that she was sending to him, and I'm like,
and you hear that, and you think, obviously, because it's not going to happen. You're like, who the hell's going to turn up to the house? And that, I mean, that over 10 years, not to see somebody.
This whole like, I'm in the country, I'm in this hotel, I'm not coming, I can't come, I've had a headache, I've had a stroke, can't do this, can't do that.
Lost my voice.
And I'm like, my God, man.
Yeah, that for me, the only thing in terms of, like I said, it's a very elaborate scam, but when you haven't seen somebody for 10 years, apart from that night out, which obviously the real Bobby, that was obviously really weird.
Because she met him on a night out, didn't she? And then it was like, Bobby. As they said, it's in episode 1, right? Sliding doors, they called it. And they said she met Bobby in the real world on a night out because he added her on Facebook through Simran's fake ordeal. And she just spoke to him and he sort of didn't know who she was. And she just left it and thought, oh, okay, that was a weird interaction. That's all.
Put it down
and the scam, the catfish hadn't started at that point. So there was no reason for Simran to be alarmed or anything like that. I doubt her cousin knew that, but yeah.
No, absolutely. But to not see someone for 10 years.
Yeah, to have an
Do you know
online
what I mean? Like,
relationship with someone and
10
not see
years,
them for 10
not
years
see
is
them.
freaky.
That's, I don't know how you, but again, is it just that thing that you're just too deep and you're like, no, it's got to be, I've spoken to him, like, so I've heard the voice notes.
Simran went to extreme lengths, man, when she made those, she made these Facebook groups with all these fictional characters in there talking about how, what happened? What, like Bobby had been killed and then he was brought back to life and put in witness protection. And I'm like, what alarm bells ringing in your head at this point?
Me, look, from a medical perspective, it's the number of strokes this person had. This young person.
It's fantastic, man.
And then
I'm like, give me some of your fight for life.
Honestly. Kept losing his voice and then just making his miraculous recovery and then saying, I'm going to see that love point again, because when she didn't fall into line, Gita, that is, I'm going to go and get with the nurse. So, just saying silly things like that.
Hard coercive
really
control in it.
Flip it. Yeah. She is in love, man. Like, this is just control.
Hardcore DV, that, man, over 10 years. Can you do domestic violence in your family? You can, can't you?
What do you mean in terms of definition?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. Yeah, of course you can, because obviously a husband and wife. Yeah, that makes sense.
Why not?
Oh, dark series, man, but definitely worth a listen. I really enjoyed it because it was explained well. Bittersweet ending, because you don't really know what happens next. What was twisted was Simran obviously knew that she'd done all this wrong. She lawyered up quick. And she had so many people on it to back her case and say she'd done nothing wrong, nothing illegal.
Oh, what did the barrister say?
They had to read this disclaimer out at the start of every episode. Remember?
Yeah. No, that's not what I'm thinking of. It's the bit where the Simran's barrister says to his side, you were older and you groomed our client.
Yeah, that's the one. There you go.
What?
She tried to do the Uno reverse card, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, on what planet
real life making Uno a reverse, defense? Honestly. I guess sometimes, as you say, you're a big believer in this karma, in it. So she got what she kind of needed out of it. She lost her job because it all came to light that this had happened. And her engagement with somebody broke off. So maybe things have worked out.
You don't believe in karma?
Huh?
You don't believe in karma?
No, I don't, man.
What do you believe?
I believe it's dog eat dog out there and people just do what they want because there's too much evil in the world for things to be karmic. I don't think karma I don't think it ever levels out.
Okay. Yeah. If you believe in karma as such, it's not karma based on one life, though.
Karma you think it's in the other lives? Okay.
That is the general philosophy of karma, though. Karma is across all your lives. And so do you obviously, oh man, the Siri just keeps getting excited. I don't know what it keeps listening in for. We digress, but we'll talk about free will and preordained destiny on a different podcast.
Take a note of that so we don't forget.
It's a good one.
Please.
To debate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think I could be in a relationship for 10 years and not meet the person. She had phone calls with them, in fairness, but the depth of the phone calls, do you remember the beeping sound?
Yes.
Of the heart and how she kept playing the beeping sound. Bear in mind, they're having these conversations with a time difference late into the night, right? And waking up the next day and going to work and functioning.
That's why he's having the strokes. Not sleeping, is he? And then just loses his voice and then just brings his voice back on. And like, he's in America. I don't know why he's in America. And that whole thing, my God, to give cardiology, heart advice to Kirat's real daddy.
Oh, explain that bit to me again. I think I forgot that.
Daddy was very involved. I think it's daddy or Nani, one of the two. And the bit was really sick was she was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I wouldn't be here to see you and Bobby get married. So she obviously, she passed away believing Bobby was real. That was the
Hold
first
on,
thing.
wait. I'm lost. I think I missed this bit. Start again. The cardiology stuff.
Yeah, he was a cardiologist, wasn't he?
Bobby.
Oh,
was he? Bobby. Oh, okay, right, yeah.
And so he was giving advice about Skeeter's Dudley, like real medical advice. Yeah. You should do this. You should do this, and da da da. And then look, another bit of control when Keedith had that scare about having potential breast lump, and she was examined. Breast examination by sounds like a male doctor, very standard, obviously type of chaperone.
Yeah.
Why did another man touch you?
Yeah.
Really, that's again who is it's control, man. Somebody's touching your body without my permission. I didn't know about this.
Stop tapping the table. The mic's picking it up, man.
Sorry, I got into the moment. Again, that is Simran's control. All control, man. But yeah, so Dadi passed away believing
that she had it controlled to a T. Like you must go and have a breast cancer screening based on the littlest bit of information.
Yeah, and then getting angry at her for getting her breast examined.
Can you imagine just finding out this is all fake? It hits you, but then it's going to keep hitting you in waves when you realize the lengths he went to for a fictional person.
Because it's 10 years. That's a whole chapter, so imagine, man. You'll look at things. 10 years what was new? And then she has to untangle in those 10 years. Obviously, real things are happening, like, with physical people in a house and friends and a job. So there's still real things happening. She
lost friends. She lost a job. All that shit.
But within that, you got this tangled web. Like I said, man, dream within dream within dream. It's 3 levels deep. This is deep level Inception.
They were both in Inception in real life, honestly. And I'm tempted to try and find another true crime series and see if it levels up to this. I don't know if it will.
Yes, so
I'd love to see the stats.
They mentioned one, didn't they?
The stats on theirs. I'd love to know how many views it got and if word of mouth really picked it up and how it got out there. That would be really good to know.
There is another one, didn't they recommend at the
end? They recommend one at the end, but I was like, after I was done with it, I was like, you know what? I need a break. That was quite a lot. Yeah.
Need something a bit lighter.
Yeah, big tension. So last thing on this. How do you think they moved all their podcasting to and from places? Because they use mics and equipment to record all the conversations. I wonder how they had that all set up. It must be like some in-studio setup, which they carry around everywhere through producers. Because they did that a lot, didn't they?
A lot of houses, didn't they? On the go.
They went around houses.
I presume it's just lapel mics.
No, it sounded too professional to be done on like a phone.
No, not a phone, but lapel mics.
Could be.
But that bit when they're doing the dad, they said, didn't they, like, oh, we would have liked to be set up properly, but we didn't think we'd get into the shot. And they just went for it, didn't they? And they got whatever they could get. Investigative journalism, it's something I do think about, and I think pretty cool too.
I respect it. It's a dying art. It's not respected enough. It's not spoken about enough, and it's quite thankless, really.
But that is the job of the press, to expose, like, we had everything
meant to be,
with the what do you call it? What was it called? The alcohol scandal we had.
The what scandal?
What was it called? There's something Gate. What was the name for it? For Boris's parties, the secret parties and things. Partygate. That was it. Just kept.
My God, man!
I kept thinking Boris.
You actually live under a rock sometimes. Honestly, how do you not know that it was called Partygate?
No, I know. It's like it evaded me at the moment. I kept thinking Boris Gate. It's not Boris Gate. That was like Johnson Gate. It's not Johnson Gate either. Party. That was like it's Drinking Gate. It's not Drinking Gate. I knew something Gate. Partygate. Yeah. So it's the job of the press to just be ruthless and find things, expose them, and make people, organizations accountable. So there you go.
Big props, big respect. All right, you need to go. So I'll wrap it up here. Thank you for listening. Let us know if you want us to do more of these in the future. If there's any recommendations you want me and Karan to process and review, we will. Next episode will be longer, and we should be in person, all being well. So we'll drop a big episode for that. And we will catch you guys then. Please do like, comment, share, subscribe, drop us a rating, and share this to anybody else that you think has watched Sweet Bobby, because I'm sure they have, and I'm sure they've heard about it. And They might find this review refreshing, stupid, dumb, whatever. Anyway, give us a shout. Cheers.